Hello, Tri-Valley community. My name is Borden, and I am running for the Tri-Valley Central School District Board of Education. I'm a proud graduate of the TVCS class of 1996. I spent 10 years as a student here in Tri-Valley, 4+ years in the SUNY system studying elementary education, 2 years obtaining a master's degree in reading and literacy, and 20 years as an educator in the neighboring Ellenville Central School District. In 10 years' time, I will have dedicated 30 years of service as a New York State public school teacher. My area of expertise lies in public education. I have 2 children in our district, a daughter in the elementary school and a son in the secondary school. I am homegrown, raised in the quaint town of Neversink on the backside of the Neversink Reservoir. I run for the Board of Education on a core of 4. 1, for the educational rights of each individual student. 2, for the liberties of each individual student. 3, for the safety and security of each individual student. 4, for the betterment of the school climate and communication for each individual member of the school community. If you want a quality educator and a vested community member who will be a pillar of support, putting the student body first and foremost on your team, vote for Borden on May 17th. Thank you for taking the time to get to know me and for your care and concern for our school community. I would like to thank the current board and my fellow candidates. George, Robert, Mary, Tammy, Travis, and Tim for stepping up to this civic responsibility. I look forward to the opportunity to face tough challenges and work collaboratively. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Robert Curry, and I'll give you my telephone number right to start because I'm accessible always in the evenings. I'm home, and I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, give me a call. It's 845-640-2373. That's 845-640-2373. I'm a graduate of Tri-Valley School, class of 64. I went to Delhi, majored in buildings construction. I have an associate's degree from there, graduated in 1966. I went straight into the U.S. Navy Seabees in 1966, got out in 68, had 1 tour in Vietnam, and that was an experience, let me tell you. I joined the Carpenters Union, and I've built buildings, roads, bridges. I even built the elementary school with a concrete building down here. And I remember putting the chimney up, and I had, Teacher's Hill was one of my projects on that building. And I have a lot of experience in building. And I built a bridge down in New Jersey, goes on to Sandy Hook. It was precast, post-tension, balanced construction. It was the first one in New Jersey to be built. There's quite a lot of this construction happens down in Texas and Florida. And I have my own sawmill and logging, and I work for McGraw Lumber, and I learned to drive truck to haul logs and cut trees and the whole business. All of my life I've been able to recondition, and reset my life. When one job dried up, there was other ones to be trained for. And I think all this experience will do me well serving on building and grounds and building projects that we have here. I've been on the school board for 12 years, back in the 80s and the early 90s. I ran for the school board in the first place because I thought people needed more respect from the board. And I'm running on the same reason now, because I think the rules and things that they have, you have to sign up to speak. You're only allowed 5 minutes, and there's like only a half hour allowed for all the people. And I think if you want to be on the school board, you ought to be able to sit down and listen to people when they have problems. If you don't have time, don't be on the board. Things that happen here, like I can't hear what's being said. Now the mask mandate is gone, so that helps. And we do have some microphones. And you have to sign up to speak, and things like that are a little frustrating for me. I think we should be able to ask the people that are sitting here if they understand everything that's going on, or if they have any comments on what just happened. I think we need better communication between board members and the public that comes to see the meetings. After all, you know, we want them to be here to help their kids' education, so I think we should give them a little respect. Some of the issues that go on now, you know, if you look at Fairfax County, Virginia, and you watch the news, my son Danny is down there. He has a doctorate in history, and he has 2 girls that go to Fairfax County schools. So I know there's things that are happening down there. You can tell by the governor's race, and I don't want to see them moved up here. Maybe they're not here now, maybe they are. If I'm on the board, I'll see to it that things are handled in a good way. Title IX sports was for girls so that they could have equal competition. And now, you know, with boys that are transgender and all of these terms that I don't really even understand, you know, I don't think it's fair to girls. So I want to see that the girls get a fair shake. And if I'm on this board, I would want to write letters to governors, assemblymen, your representatives to Washington, and whatever other school boards, and don't just accept what the government hands down to us, but, you know, have a group of people, group of boards, not only our board, but other boards, so that we have some effect. And I know I'm only a one member of a 9-member board, so I can only suggest things, and we'll vote on them and do things as we see fit. Okay, we need more public input at meetings. We shouldn't just be sitting here waiting for things to happen. I think the public should be asked for information, you know, their opinions and things. We need more communication between teachers and parents. You know, if there's a problem or anything with a child, they should go to the parent and let them know before things get out of hand. And I think there's some of the policies of the meetings, you know, that we should change so that it makes it more friendly towards the public. I'm not out to change the world, but I would like to see it stay somewhat the same as it was when I was young. And, you know, I don't want to go back as far back as my parents, where they walked uphill in the snow both ways with deep snow. But I would like to see things, you know, like they were. You know, if there's so much change with technology right now, I think everything is getting out of hand. And in a country where you can be anything you want, the most important thing to be is nice. So just cooperate. Everybody should keep their tempers under control and be able to communicate and share in a decent way. Thank you very much.
Due to some technical difficulties the other night, our introductions didn't get out. And I'd like to take a minute to introduce myself to the community of Tri-Valley Central School District. My name is Mary Tierney, and I'm running for the school board. I'm a lifelong resident of Sullivan County, and I've lived in the Tri-Valley School District for over 25 years. My husband Matthew and I have raised our 6 children in this community, and all of our children have attended Tri-Valley Central School District. Our first 5 have all graduated from Tri-Valley, and our youngest child is entering into the 9th grade this coming fall. I now also have grandchildren attending the school as well. Therefore, I have a personal invested interest in the families and youth of our community and in the quality of the education provided for our children. I believe in the importance of traditional family values and that parents should not only be allowed, but should be encouraged to take an active role in their children's education. I am running for the school board to be a voice for the families of this community and to ensure that our children continue to receive the education they deserve. One of quality, one that is safe, one that protects their innocence, and one that upholds the rights of parents. Thank you for your support when you vote on May 17th.
Good evening, Tri-Valley. We just wrapped up the budget hearing, and the candidates were only given 3 minutes to speak, and there was a hard cutoff. So I wanted to get the speech out to the community, so you guys know why I'm looking for your vote. My name is Tim Diamond, and I am running for the Tri-Valley School Board. I'm a lifelong resident of the area, and my children attend school in the district. I'm employed as a senior investigator with the New York State Police, and I'm currently the elected president of the New York State Police Investigators Association. I also coach the Tri-Valley Modified Girls Basketball Team and the Red Rage basketball team of the newly reinstated Bear Cub basketball program. I grew up in this community and attended Tri-Valley with my 4 Diamond siblings, Mary Rose, Calvin, DJ, and Ellie. My parents, Calvin and Mary, both in heaven now, moved to this area based off its sheer beauty and widely known good school district. For most of my school years, my mom was a school nurse and my dad was a local family therapist. Day in and day out, we would ride to school in our notoriously embarrassing and very humbling 12-seater red and white striped van. Tri-Valley in those days was the center of the community, and you couldn't help but feel welcome when you stepped onto the campus. It wasn't advanced technology or newer buildings that gave it that feel, it was the people. Tri-Valley staff were the pillars of the community and led by example in and out of the classroom. Tri-Valley had a reputation of producing multi-talented students that excelled in the classroom, on the field, in the choir room, and on the stage. Now, some 22 years later, I am running for the school board to help maintain this fine tradition. Tri-Valley has changed like everything does over time, but the framework and bones are still good. This is still a fantastic community with great kids. We still have many talented teachers and administrators who go above and beyond for the students. But like every school and organization out there, we can do better, we can improve. We can improve morale amongst staff and students. We can improve school spirit and encourage more involvement. We can improve our overall test scores and encourage students to take pride in their work. We can create schedules that allow students to be able to stay in the band and chorus while still allowing them to enjoy gym class or muscle through chemistry. We can make sure our young athletes are also given opportunities in the arts, and our artists and theater students can be given opportunities in athletics. There was a time not long ago where the Tri-Valley Gym was a difficult place to play for outside schools because of our big crowd and enthusiastic fans. There was also a time not too long ago where the school musical would be performed in front of a standing room only audience. Let's get back to that time. Why should I get your vote? I bring experience to the board. I currently run a statewide union board with several thousand working and retired members. I lead monthly meetings in each part of the state from Long Island to Plattsburgh and out to Buffalo, and I'm familiar with Robert's Rules of Order. I manage a multi-million-dollar organization that requires establishing and maintaining a budget, supervising staff, and sometimes making tough decisions. I have experience dealing with contracts and union issues. I'm a firm believer in the concept that employees that feel appreciated will go above and beyond for their employer. We have to attract the very best teachers, and we find them. We must make sure that they make a decent enough wage to keep them here. I'm a proven communicator. My father taught all the Diamond children that communication is the key to every relationship in life. As a board member, it is never okay and will never be okay to ignore a question or concern by a student or taxpayer. If a question is presented to me as a board member, I will do my best to answer the question. If I don't have the answer, I will find the answer and get back to that community member. There is nothing more toxic to any board than an adversarial relationship with the constituents they represent. I will bring a level of reasonableness to the board. There has never been a more important time for reasonable people to get on school boards. In a time when partisan issues seem to have taken over, we need reasonable board members that will listen to the concerns of the community and work collaboratively to find solutions. These solutions may not always make everyone happy, but they will be fair. Last but certainly not least, I will put the students first. I will fight to make Tri-Valley a welcoming and friendly environment that our children can thrive in. I will do everything in my power to help this district produce well-rounded, well-adjusted young adults that are ready to take the world by storm. Go Bears.
Good evening. My name is George Dean, and I would like to take this opportunity to announce my candidacy for the Tri-Valley Board of Education. It would be my honor and privilege to serve you, the students, parents, and taxpayers of this district. I believe that a school board member's most important obligation is to cooperate with the community to develop student achievement and success. Tri-Valley has historically been in the state, the top of the state. Parents moved here for the great education offered by our school. A little over a decade ago, we had over 1,200 students. Today, we have approximately 870. In the last 2 years alone, enrollment has decreased by over 100 students. This nearly 30% reduction in our student body over the past 10 to 15 years is alarming. It can be attributed to concerns that schools are facing all throughout the state, but also declining academics directly in our school. As a result, families are voting with their feet by walking away. How do we stop this? We need to build confidence in our school again. I believe that one of the most biggest challenges facing our district are policies and mandates handed down from Albany that are restricted at best and that negatively affect our students' ability to learn at worst. Enacted policies and curriculum implemented in our school district should be a local decision, representing a consensus by the people of the Tri-Valley School District. This includes parents, teachers, and taxpayers. Providing teachers with the tools necessary for a thriving learning environment is critical. Adhering to core academics are essential to success. I believe in transparency, the right to know what your child is receiving, to ask questions, to have access to course curriculum and content. We must have a sound process for selecting and evaluating curriculum and approval of guest speakers in classrooms. I believe in respect. Personal politics should be left out of the classroom. Students should be taught how to think, not what to think. Everyone has an opinion, that's a guarantee. But we must be respectful, not to push our viewpoint on others. We need to reject harmful indoctrination. Students are sacrosanct. A parent called me. They had a concern that their child came home and their teacher told them that Benghazi never happened. Benghazi did happen. 4 Americans were killed there. We need to eliminate fear in our school. Children deserve to feel safe from retaliation and bullying. Freedom to hold their unique viewpoints and values. They deserve to be in an environment free of substances and vaping. They deserve the privilege of a safe and accessible bathrooms. We must continue to invest in our extracurricular activities and phenomenal athletics and arts programs. These programs bring joy to our hearts and life to our schools. They bring hope for all our students. Music heals was a slogan of this year's All-County Music Festival. These words have never been more appropriate. Music heals. Physical activity and socialization are crucial for strong mental health. Yet our secondary school students are spending lunchtime at their desk a majority of the time. We need to ensure they receive proper recess during their lunch period, up and away from their desk. I would like to see them outdoors each day. Responsible budgeting and planning are critical. We have always managed our growth in a fiscally responsible way, including our state-of-the-art theater and athletic facilities. Ask yourself, why has our enrollment decreased by almost 30%, yet our budget, nearing $36 million, continues to increase? We must review all costs diligently, line by line. Ask questions and determine every opportunity to save costs and reduce the burden on taxpayers, who, by the way, have never defeated a budget here at Tri-Valley. For example, keeping buses on site during the day could offer tremendous savings on fuel. It would be beneficial in the event of an emergency, reduce traffic and congestion on Route 55, and reduce our carbon footprint. It's a win-win for all. Our school has a separate contract for fuel. We should return to hiring our Tri-Valley graduates who possesses the required credentials. This practice of hiring primary out of district sends the wrong message that our graduates are not employable. And it lends to a shortage in extracurricular advisors and coaches. Let's give people a reason to want to stay in this district and raise their families. We need to bring back driver's ed. You can't put a price tag on saving a child's life. We need to bring back driver's ed. You cannot put a price tag on saving a child's life. My promise to you is to set in motion collaboration with our teachers, our community, and our school leaders so that all kids have the best opportunity to succeed. Yes, there is a chain of command. The board enacts a policy, and the superintendent carries out that policy, and state ed mandates. But first and foremost, the school board represents the community. Contrary to statements by the federal government, parents should not be viewed as domestic terrorists. Community feedback must be heard, acknowledged, and responded in a timely and respectful manner. Some will say that we need only younger board members to represent the community. But this philosophy has not served us well over the past 15 years. The community would be better served by a board that possesses a broad range of backgrounds and skill sets, just as our original charter intended. Most school districts have 7 board seats. Tri-Valley has 9. 1 seat for each of the 9 schoolhouses when this district was formed, so that it was fully representative of our community. Never underestimate the value of wisdom, which can only be gained through years of experience. I am a lifelong resident of Neversink. I have the perspective as a student who once walked these halls. I'm a parent of 4 children who graduated from this school. I have experience serving as a Sullivan County School Board representative. I had the honor of serving on the Tri-Valley Board of Education for 15 years, from 1990 to 2005. I missed a total of 3 board meetings. I missed a lot of family events, but that's part of being part of this school district and part of this board. It's a serious, serious role. In 2005, I was honored with the Excellence in School Board Service Award for the Mid-Hudson School Study Council. This time period from 1990 to 2005 brought tremendous growth and prosperity to our school district. Our students were thriving. Our academics were top-notch. Under the direction of our board and leadership of our school administration, our school district built this library we sit in here today. And the 5th grade addition, the 7th and 8th grade wing, student courtyard, the ag and tech wing, the 2nd greenhouse, and the maintenance administration buildings. We constructed the track and our prized auditorium. We were doers and thinkers. We produced tangible results. With diligent planning, many hours of dedication, and capable minds, we achieved our vision of a better future for our children. This would not have been possible without the overwhelming support of this community. Some of our board meetings, they started at 8, and we generally left at 11, but there were times we were here till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We needed to discuss very important things. We understood that, and we got it done. As a local business owner and operator, in my early years in law enforcement career, and having had contact with many youths, I have seen precious life. I have seen how precious life is and how each situation is unique. I have seen youth struggling to get on the right track and how vital a good, solid education is for them. I believe that all of us have a responsibility to invest in our children and their future. I have the time to give of myself, and I have the concern for our youth and community to achieve a high standard of education. I have 11 grandchildren in this district who give me the passion to fight for their future and the future of all Tri-Valley students. I will listen. I will respond. I will advocate for your children. I'm not on Facebook. I am face to face. George Washington once said, "The general is only as good as his troops." As parents and taxpayers, you must stay engaged. This is probably one of the most important elections that I recall. My name is George Dean. I'm honored and humbled by your support. Thank you for this time this evening, and thank you to our superintendent, Dr. Silver, for allowing this to happen. Good evening.
Hello, my name is Tammy Chaboti, and I am a candidate for the Tri-Valley Board of Education. I live in Neversink with my husband Eric and our 2 children who attend this school. Savannah is an 8th grader, and Wyatt is in 6th grade. Both children have excelled here at Tri-Valley and love being part of the Barris family. I have been a volunteer in our community for many years, serving with the AYSO, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, and 4-H. I am also a 32-year employee of the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision, where I presently hold the title of Deputy Superintendent for Security at Otisville State Correctional Facility. I have decided to run for Tri-Valley School Board because I'd like to see some improvements within our district. The first area is the need for better communication between the district leaders, the staff and faculty, and the families of Tri-Valley. Everyone is a stakeholder in our children's education. When we communicate effectively, many problems are minimized or eliminated. Teachers and support staff deserve to have a supportive board and know that the members of the board will publicly stand behind them. The second issue is transparency. When incidents occur and questions are asked, often the response is, "Someone will get back to you." Parents and guardians need to be made aware of what is going on in their children's school in a more timely fashion and not have to rely on rumors or social media for information. The third issue is the safety and security of our schools. Our children and staff deserve a safe and nurturing environment. We hear of incidents in the school involving vandalism, bullying, and fights with little to no consequences for those who violate the school code of conduct. In years past, Tri-Valley had a reputation for dealing with these problems immediately and decisively. Another area of concern that I hear parents mention is that one of our school resource officers were eliminated in the 2021-22 school year budget. With all the threats being made to schools in our county, people are asking why this occurred. Finally, I am concerned about critical staff positions such as the 2 social workers and a guidance counselor whose positions will be terminated at the end of this school year. Many students are suffering with mental health issues and depend on our social workers and guidance counselors to help them through these difficult times in their young lives. On May 17th, please vote for me, Tammy Chaboti, to represent your interests and concerns on the Tri-Valley School Board. Thank you.